What's the word, YouTube? You know who it is. It's your boy Big Will. I'm back. Another episode of Life After Prison. Let's get it started. What's up, fam? What's the word, fam? SMP, self-made. Self-made. The P is what you want it to be. I'm a self-made player. Self-made people. Self-made products. These are my lines. These are my t-shirts. You see what it says. It's not only a brand, it's a lifestyle. Self-made, you have to do it yourself. No one's going to do it for you. First of all, before we get started, let me start out by saying Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Be safe. Enjoy your meal. Enjoy your loved ones. Enjoy the holiday season. Now let me get into the video. There's a lot of things we need to be grateful for. Waking up is the first one. Truth be told, we have to be grateful for a lot of things. Our health. There are people that have horrible healths, but they're alive, right? And they have problems. They have terrible problems, right? But we're here, right? And a lot of us, truth be told, we don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? We think the problems that we have in life are worse off than not being here at all. You all know that I had a infection in my gums, and it caused me to take my top teeth out, right? Which horrified me because like I say, I was a vain person, right? And you smile, your mouth, that's focus. You know what I'm saying? Especially me making videos, it's focus, and it affects the way I talk, the way I look. And had I been younger in life, and I was, still an active player in life and out there trying to woo and woo the ladies like I used to, then it would have bothered me, right? And it did for a while. Same thing with the scarring on top of my head from the lupus. I get asked by people every day, hey, what happened? Was you in an accident? Was you in an accident? And it's from lupus, right? And but with that being said, that lupus makes me sick, right? It attacks my body. But you know what? I'm alive. And them are small problems compared to not being here and leaving loved ones alone. And memories, people thinking of you and things like that, right? And you're not being able to be here. You're on the other side. And even if you are energy that is still floating around, I'm assuming you want to be that energy that wants to reach out and tell you your loved ones you love them, right? And you can still see them, feel them. They say that they're around, right? And even though we can't hear them, we still know that they're here, right? Their energy can never be destroyed, so it's around, and we feel it, we see it, right? But we're here. Our shell is here. Our shell is here, and we're here on this earth, and these are the things that we have in life. So we celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas, our holidays, our birthday, some other government-made holidays, but we have certain things that we can remember people by, their birthdays, and great times that we had with people that have passed on. And then we have Memorial Day to remember people, with that being said, everybody have a great holiday. You have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Us here at Life After TV. Gotcha. Life After Prison. Us here at Life After Prison. We want to wish everybody a safe and happy holiday season. We wish you your health, prosperity, peace, joy, love, and all that come with it. We look forward to bringing you more videos. And again, it's all about being grateful. Okay, like I said, I have my teeth, which makes me vain, right? But I have life. I'm alive. And my teeth are cosmetic, right? Soon as the gums heal, I go for another operation and they screw the teeth in, right? And people say, oh, you don't want to get dentures because they're fake. Well, so are implants. They're still fake. They just don't come out, right? They get screwed in. You don't feel them. There's no nerves. There's no blood flow to them. They screw them into your gums, right? So what's the difference? You won't cough and they're going to fall out. You're not going to bite an apple and they're going to fall out. Well, I mean, in a sense, they are dentures, right? They just get screwed into your gums. But they get screwed in, they'll be permanent, and they'll be mine, like my real teeth, right? And when that happens, maybe I can smile again and show my teeth and blah, 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 you know. But I'm learning to be grateful that I'm alive, you know. And maybe I can't bite into a steak. Maybe I can't bite into an apple. But I can eat the hell out of a popsicle, let me tell you. But this Thanksgiving holiday, again, us here at Life After Prison, we wish everybody the best and a happy, healthy holiday season. Like and subscribe. You'll see the videos. Hit that notification bell. You may like our content. I talk about prison stories, things that have happened to me in and out of prison, things that brought me to prison, my life after prison, and being grateful that I'm not in prison anymore. Every day I'm not in prison. And it just goes to show you how you get tempted by the evil that's out there, right? I was set up. I was set up during my career of drug dealing, right? I was set up by a family member who was homeless, and I let them live in my house. I let them live upstairs. My upstairs and my attic is like an apartment. He had TV, a small little refrigerator up there, heat. The only thing that wasn't up there was a toilet and shower, right? But he had access to my house to come in, shower, and use the bathroom anytime he needed. He was homeless. He was a drug addict. But my wife, being a Christian, couldn't see that, so she took him in. I gave him a place to stay. And he was still active in drugs and out there in the street. Now, I was no better because I was a drug addict. I was addicted to drugs myself, right? But the point is that I was in a better position than him. I still had a job. I took care of my family, right? I dealt with my disease. He used his disease as an excuse for life, right? But I gave him a place to stay, and he was my uncle. And the thing is that he had nothing, right? And my wife and I went out and bought him all new clothes. We took him to family and friends' house for the holiday seasons, and you know, my son had a birthday here, and he was part of the festivities, and he got caught up doing something with his drugs, and he couldn't handle it. He went to jail one time. He went to jail back in 2007. I was in, he was in, and he was my cellmate, and I schooled him on being in prison because he was never there before, right? And he was there for hitting an old man, robbing him. So because it was the guy was over 62, he had a few years to serve, right? It was a felony of hitting an old man, assault and battery on an elderly, which is a felony in Massachusetts. And he ended up going to prison, and him being in there and me being there at the same time, I schooled him on how to live, okay? And I showed him the ways of, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. There was actually guys inside of the compound wanted to put a hit on him because he was always at the desk with the guards, you know, and he hadn't, I guess he said he knew the guard from our city, and they had gone to school together or something like this, right? But anyways, he was always at the desk talking to this guard. Now, I was in a unit with him. I ended up transferring out to another unit, but I was in the same compound still. I had got a kite. Hey, listen, the guy's always at the desk. We don't trust him. We don't know him like we know you will. You're a solid dude. We've done time with you. We lived here with you for a year and a half before he had came. We know who your uncle. It makes us nervous. Now he was mixed up in the drug game, right? And when I was in prison, I had drugs still coming in. And when I left the unit that he was in and went to another unit, I actually had, there was guys in there that owed a bill. You know, they owed me money for drugs, right? And because he was in there, I left it for him to collect. He was supposed to send over a package to me of food and blah, 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 and transfer over some money to me and send it to my family. And what he did is he ended up getting the money, getting the food and shit, and he kept it all for himself. Told me that the kid didn't pay. The kid ended up transferring out of his unit, being moved. He came into my unit. There was a bunch of guys in this unit that this kid supposedly had issues with. So when the kid came into the unit, he had to fight. He had to fight one guy after he was done. He had to fight another guy. When he was done, he owed me money. He wasn't leaving the unit, and he was going to get another beating because he came from the... Now, I heard the kid. I broke his nose. He was all busted up. This was his third fight, but he got dealt with. Now, after I hit him, there was still somebody in our unit, friend of mine, Johnny, God rest his soul, and Johnny ended up hitting the kid just because the way he was a shitbag to us guys in the city, and he was from our city, right? So, but anyways, long story short, I ended up hurting this kid for no reason. Come to find out, on a court ride that they had together, there was another guy in the unit that, from with my uncle and this kid when they were in the same unit, and the guy ended up paying my uncle, and my uncle told me no, he didn't. So the kid got hurt for no reason, right? And so little by little, I was finding out that my uncle was a shitbag. But the whole point was that I was getting kites saying, listen, your uncle's no good. He's up there with the cops. Either he's telling on people or blah, blah, blah. It's not a good look. He's your uncle. We're going to give you the opportunity. Send him a kite. Get him out of there. If he continues, he's going to be carried out. Now, I left the green light there. Listen, if that's how you feel, I'm not there. I can't see what's going on. I trust your word. I've been with you guys for a few years. Understand he is new to being in prison, They took it into consideration. I sent the kite over. He slacked back on at the desk stuff. He got into, they got to know him a little better. Now, they knew him personally from the city, but they didn't know him as a convict or an inmate, right? So getting to know him, they gave him the opportunity, and he was okay. Now, the guy, he was just a shitbag all his life, right? So, fast forward a few years later, we get out of jail, everything's fine. Now, I run into him in the city, and he's homeless, and we having a bad winter that winter, and my wife's like, I can't leave him out on the street, blah, blah, blah. We take him in, we give him a place to stay, I clean him up, I'm putting money in his pocket every day, he's on the clinic, I'm bringing him to the clinic so he can get his methadone. At the time, he's still getting high, I'm giving him drugs so he doesn't have to panhandle, because that's what he was doing. He was living out, he was homeless, he was panhandling, he was out there still getting high. I tried to help him out, okay? I was taking care of him. And he's my uncle. He's older than me, right? But I was taking care of him. He gets caught up in some shit. I walk he's upstairs in my attic. Like I said, he gave him a place to stay. He's upstairs one time, and I walk in on him. I say, I'm gonna go get my uncle high. I'm gonna go with him, and I go upstairs, and he's actually talking to a cop. Now, he made it seem to me that he had seen a fight. One guy hit another guy's head on an old payphone outside of a Dunkin' Donuts, and an investigator came, gave him a card. Hey, we want to talk to you, so if you can tell us what's going on. Blah blah. I had to talk with him. Listen, this is the lifestyle I'm into. Yo, over here now, you don't talk to cops from my house. No, Okay, no problem. Hindsight being 2020. I didn't know that he was selling me out. He was ratting me out to cops, right? So he was a paid informant for the cops. He got arrested, and what they would do is they would go by and they would give him some money for drugs, and he would tell them what was going on. In my affidavit, in my paperwork, I was the fifth person, come to find out, that he had set up. So he was also a reliable informant. Reliable meaning when they name you as a reliable informant, it means that you have told on somebody in the past, and that by you telling on that person, it has led to a conviction. Okay? Which means that he had told on other people in the past, and them people have been arrested and convicted. So he was a reliable informant. They can always go to him, give him a break. Hey, you got arrested? Okay, well, here's a break, blah, 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 but we want this from you. Cops had they had heard that I was out selling in the streets. I was out there for years. It wasn't the first time that I was raided. It wasn't the first time that I was arrested for it. The cops knew I was. They just couldn't catch me at the time, right? I always had someone else handling it. Because he was my uncle, he was here, so my personal stuff, I took care of him, yeah. So he had told me a friend of his wanted something, a fisherman. He was my uncle. I trusted him. I didn't know he was an informant at the time. He made 2 controlled buys off me. I ended up doing some jail time from it because of that. So, long story goes, blah, blah, blah. I go to jail. I take off for a few years, come back out. Okay, now he's out. Now, when he set me up, I had bailed out of jail in 2015. And I had seen him at a Dunkin' Donuts, and I told him, listen, I'm going to cut your throat, but, shit like that. He ran back, told the cops. Well, my nephew knows that I'm the informant. The thing is that when I was arrested, I had hired 2 lawyers, one to defend me, one to investigate. I wanted to find out who's the informant. The cop, the lawyer that I hired, had friends in the police department. When I was in court, before I ended up getting sentenced, I was in a court. I had a court appearance one day, and he brought me in a side office, and he showed me a paper, and he stood the paper to me, and he asked me, "Who's Daryl Dupras?" I said, "It's my uncle." He said, "That's the paid informant." He showed me a picture with his affidavit, his name, birth date, everything about him. That he had gotten, the lawyer had gotten this information from a friend of his in the police department. And he showed me who was the informant. Okay. So I wrote him off as a person. But how karma comes back to serve, the guy ends up being homeless again, right? And this is the life that he lives, right? So he ends up, I get out, and now he's got no family. Now everybody in my family knows, all my friends, all the people in my city, they all know that my uncle is no good. He's a piece of shit. Now, because you talk to him, I'm not going to not like you or nothing. I just want you to warn. I warn people, listen, if something happens, if he knows your business, he will sell you out, okay? You want to talk to him, that's your business. I don't care. But he will sell you out. Just be careful. As far as me talking to him, he's done to me. You know what I'm saying? He's nothing to me. You don't get no words from me. He took me away from my family. I know what you're all going to say, yeah, but I was a drug dealer. I understand that. Yes, I put myself there, and I accepted blame, and I accepted responsibility, right? But without his cooperation, I wouldn't have went. I wouldn't have been taken away from my family. I wouldn't have been taken away from my son at such a young age. Him sitting in my house with my son on his lap, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that he told on me and there was an investigation that I was going to jail. Right before the day that I got arrested, or raided and arrested that day, the second time, a day after Martin Luther King Day, a year to the day in 15, I ended up getting arrested. That's when he set me up. A year later, I got arrested on the day after in 2016. That's when I ended up going to jail, 2018. So listen, I hadn't seen him in years, right? And I would see him, I went to jail, I hadn't seen him. When I get out, I seen him a couple times here or there, sparsely, and I had, I would say, "Hey, you fucking rat," and shit like that to him, you know what I mean? Like, just embarrass him. But no words for him, right? So now you all know I work for a trash disposal company. On the weekends, I did a part-time job at the football stadium, Gillette Stadium, for the New England Patriots. And it's flaggers. We park the cars, or we clean up the lot after the games are done, shit like that. Because it's the holiday season, I signed up this weekend to go work on Sunday, and lo and behold, he's there. So I guess he worked for a company in New Bedford that the stadium hires different. They subcontract to different companies that hire people, right? So I went through a temp agency in a different place. He went through one out in New Bedford, but we ended up being in the same place doing the same job. And I'm saying, this son of a bitch. So I had to embarrass him there. Hey, well, look, there's a rat here. Everybody's looking around because it's a football stadium, thinking I'm talking about rodents. He knew right away. He put his head down like, "Oh, here we go again." And people were like, "Where?" And his girls, "Oh, rats." And I'm like, "Nah, it's that big one right there. He's an informant." Just to let everybody know around him, "Oh, shit. Don't do nothing around working there," because there was 38 people, I think, there working. Don't do nothing around, because if, this guy will tell on you. You know what I'm saying? But did I react? That is the main issue. Did I react? Do I want to hurt him? Not anymore. Did I? Yes. I did. When I first went in, I had to really sit down and evaluate my life and know that it was me that put myself there, right? But did I at one time want to hurt him and his life? Yes, I did. Is he lucky? Is he grateful that my father is dead? Yes, he is. Because he knows that my father, his brother, would have ended his life. That's the type of person my father was. That's the type of things my father did. He was a convict all his life in and out of prison. Any of you who know or have been in the Massachusetts prison system and you know Big Will Dupras, you know my father. If you're from my city, you know my father. And if you know the type of person that he is, you know the situations or the things that are under his belt, right? My uncle knows too. And my father would have thought about family later and acted on impulse and killed or ended or seriously hurt his own brother for what he did to his son. So he's happy and so he's grateful and lucky at that point, right? That my father's dead. But do I want to hurt him anymore? No, I don't. God will take care of that. Karma will come on him. I don't look for revenge anymore. That's not my place to judge people. I am not without sin. Okay? I have a lot of skeleton and sin of my own that I cannot cast judgment on someone else. So he is no longer my problem. And I'm comfortable in my own skin knowing that I don't react. I had a couple of friends like, well, you must, like, I just know that you were dying. And I'm like, not anymore. I didn't even think about it anymore. Because I'm not into that lifestyle anymore. Because I have a clear conscience. Because I served my time for what I did. Because I changed. I grew. I no longer care or wish any ill on him. He has his own life and problems to live with. Do I wish any good on him? I don't. I don't have nothing. I don't have no feelings, good or bad, for him. But with that said, I'm grateful that my life has changed today. I'm a different person. And it's all the underlying message, what I'm saying here. Be grateful for life. Be grateful that you're alive. Be grateful for the life that you have. Not for something else that someone else has or what they, don't worry about someone else. Don't judge people. That's not your place. Just do you and your family, and you should be fine. With that being said, if I would have reacted, I know where I would be. Back in prison right now. Right? So with that being said, it's your boy Big Will. Hey, don't forget, hit that like and subscribe, huh? Hit that notification bell, and I'm sure I'll see you on the next one. Or on a reaction video. But it's your boy Life After. It's your boy, Big Will. I mess up all the time, right? My mouth speaks faster than my mind. It's your boy Big Will. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. Life After Prison TV. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.